Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We've been talking a good bit about Verdansk lately with the return of the map on the horizon, presumably with season 3 here in just a couple of weeks. And while we talked about some of the initial Verdansk leaks that surfaced just after the launch of season 2 Reloaded, we now have even more details on the Verdansk map update and sort of what to expect with gameplay and some of the changes on the map itself. So it seems like things are going to be sort of a hybrid system. It's going to be a callback to the OG version of Verdansk with a few tweaks here and there. And we actually have some new information courtesy of the Ghost of Hope, very credible insider and leaker here, on what to expect with the launch of Verdansk. So he posted this tweet initially a few days back, then followed up in the replies with a bit more detail on what to expect across the board, so we get even more info here. But Hope says exclusive details on the return of Verdansk. With this, it will launch with season 3 of Black Ops 6. So while there's been no, at least at the time of recording this, official confirmation on the release date for this, every single leak, every single rumor that we've had up until this point points towards season 3 being that launch date. March 20th, it would line up pretty close with the 5-year anniversary being on March 10th, since that dropped March 10th, 2020, of course. So I imagine March 10th this year is probably going to include a pretty heavy bit of marketing for Verdansk. I just feel like that lines up really, really well. Then 10 days later, it's like, oh yeah, we can play it now, you know, pretty early on there. Now, Hope does say it is pretty much the OG March 2020 version. So if you flash back all the way to the first day that Verdansk launched out of the blue as that surprise drop, right, with the countdown timer on the MW 2019 menu, I remember the hype. Do you remember the hype? Because that was crazy. It'll basically be that version of the map. So those classic POIs, Superstore, the hangars next to that, Boneyard, the dam up at the top. It won't be anything different than that. So the classic version of Verdansk that we are first playing on is what presumably we are going to have here when this launches in a few weeks time, presumably. Now, Hope does say the train station interior is going to be closed. I feel like that's kind of an interesting update there. Obviously, midway through, Verdansk, we got updates to actually open up the roof of the train station. We could go in and fully explore that, but it being closed cuts off, a decent portion of the map there. You won't be able to rotate through it. You'll have to go all the way around it if that's the case. So you really got to make some smart plays with your rotations there. Or if there's some new quality of life updates like redeploy balloons or drones that you can use there, maybe that's going to help out with those rotations. But interesting that the full interior will be closed there. This is an even more interesting note though. The interior of the stadium will be open, however, the roof will be closed. Now, keep in mind, this is just insider information, insider details, so this is not 100% official. This is not 100% confirmed. This is just what Hope's been hearing through his sources, and like I said, he's got a very credible track record, so we can take that for what it is as of right now. Once we have a full official reveal, though, whether that's on March 10th or at any other time here, obviously, I'll be covering that stuff when it happens, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed to know when those videos go live. But based on Hope's intel, this is going to be another very weird change, because before, back when obviously Warzone first launched, we had the stadium, but it was just kind of like a big square that was incredibly difficult to navigate around because you could not go inside of it. You could land on top of it if you flew a helo up there, if you landed there early game or whatever, or came out of the gulag and dove on it, but otherwise it was just a crazy awkward POI on the map because it just blocked you so much, and the end games there were absolutely chaos because no one really knew how to play it. You couldn't go in, you kind of just had to wait outside in like the parking lot, hope you had some good cover with walls or barricades or bushes or whatever, right? But the interior of it being open like what we saw in season 5 of MW 2019 without the roof being open, then makes the interior safe from being, ripped from above, but then gives you alternative, routes to go through, play it in-game, go inside and navigate through, and then get through that POI. So that'd be a really interesting change to that specific POI in and of itself, of course. Now, Hope does also say the train is going to return. So the train that actually travels the tracks, it goes, through part of downtown here, just next to downtown, up and around the airport, and then comes down the side of the map. That train will actually be functioning, it seems like. We had that as a seasonal update as well, and that obviously caused for some interesting dynamics with gameplay where you could land on the train. There'd be specific loot there. You could get run over by the train if you were in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It could provide mobile cover, so interesting that that'll be back in full. And then also Hope Hope does say there is no fast travel subway system. So I can't remember exactly which season that was added in, but we did end up seeing the subway system where you could walk down into the stairs there wherever there were different locations, and then use it to travel from the area up here by the apartments down to the train station and then over to the hospital or whatever the locations were, right? You could get that quick fast travel off, which could be pretty crazy, advantageous for late game scenarios, or it could trap you where it's like, okay, I can't go left, I can't go right, now the zone's pushing in and I'm just in trouble, right? So it's almost like I said at the start of the video, it's like a hybrid system of Verdansk where we have a lot of classic OG elements to it, but slight tweaks to modify it here and there, with the stadium being open inside but not on the roof, or the train being closed off inside. Like I said though, Hope does go through and actually detail a few other things by answering some questions in the replies. So you may recall that one of the early leaks that we had for Verdansk was that it wasn't going to be necessarily an original version, but a modified version of the map with updated POIs, and Hope had previously reported that the Fringe map from Black Ops 3 was actually going to be on Verdansk somewhere. We theorized maybe it was going to be over in the farmland area as one of the barns over there or something like that, or it could fill some dead space on the map. But someone actually asked Hope, is Fringe still going to be there? And Hope says, no, I think that's either a DLC thing, so maybe he just misunderstood, or it's going to be planned as like a new seasonal map for multiplayer in the future, or maybe it'll be updated on the map at a point in the future alongside that, or it was scrapped, or it was just miscommunication on my source's part. So for those of you curious about that, because you heard that there were going to be some adjusted POIs or new POIs, it doesn't necessarily seem that that'll be the full case now, at least for non-original Verdansk areas. And then this is also something that I've actually brought up, sort of theorizing in some of our previous discussions on Verdansk, but this person replies to Hope and says, train station closed is interesting, probably gonna have a fully detailed interior in later seasons. And Hope says, I'm sure. Yes, that's just obviously Hope inferring and assuming here, but again, just based off the sort of context clues here, I feel like that's a likely scenario where it launches with whatever version of Verdansk we have, where the stadium is partially open, where train station is closed and whatnot. But then obviously we saw a lot of very solid updates to Verdansk over the course of time, where train station was opened up, and that was great for navigation and great for a new landing spot. The roof was opened up and the accessibility was better there. The stadium roof was opened up and that offered different engagements there. Parts of downtown were updated with the buildings and whatnot. We saw new POIs added in and various things were adjusted there. So if we continue to see Verdansk played out season after season, which we're assuming Verdansk is going to be here as the main big battle royale map, at least until COD 2025 at the minimum, when Avalon is supposed to be coming, then beyond that, who knows? Are they going to do big map rotation? Are they both going to be live? What's the deal there? That's a bridge we'll cross when we get to that. But as we see the map launch in season 3, it launches in its base state. What about beyond that? Season 4, maybe we see some of those classic Verdansk POI updates then get integrated into it. Maybe we do see the fast travel subway system. Maybe we see updates to the dam. You guys remember when we had like all those leaks and rumors about how the dam was going to burst or something? It could flood part of the map. All sorts of things like that. We could see that sort of evolve throughout the seasons there with some of those classic map updates. Obviously, it would just be like redoing all those updates we had years ago, but if they're trying to play heavy off the nostalgia, which it seems like they are, they seem to think that Verdansk is just the end-all be-all answer for the game. It's not. Spoiler alert. We need actual gameplay updates. We need smoother gameplay, better servers, a better anti-cheat. It will obviously attract attention nonetheless because it is Verdansk and there is that nostalgia element added to it. I'm very much so looking forward to playing the map. I am though equally concerned as to what gameplay is going to be like when the cheating situation is still out of control and the servers still suck and there's a lot of bugs and glitches going on in game. But that said, those are some brand new details on the actual Verdansk map update itself. Obviously, in the coming days and weeks, we're gonna start to see official things surface regarding this map. So as we do so, you guys know I'm gonna keep you in the know for everything that's going on right as it happens. So stay tuned for that and everything else going on in COD by hitting that subscribe button and turning on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, you're simply excited for Verdansk, let me know by dropping a like on it. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.